G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 9 of my Drain Essence Apostate playthrough with Manfred here. Last episode, we went ahead and we killed the big squiddy guy. Logorian's dead, and we can now move on to Elite or Ultimate. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to go and do the expansions, just because that's kind of how I prefer to do things. Play on Veteran, play on Hardcore, play through the entirety of Veteran, and then jump into Ultimate. Definitely could just jump into Ultimate now, but I'm kind of enjoying this. In between episodes, I went and I tried to get myself a new shield. I got several shields to drop. The issue with it, I guess, is that the Twin Falls area, where is it? Twin Falls over here, all the enemies cap out at level 40. So if you want a new shield, you're either going to have to wait until Ultimate, or get one kind of now-ish. So I will likely do that maybe in between this episode and next episode. We'll see how we go. But I decided I'd also come out here and kill the Herald of whatever he is, the guy who drops this. And, well, this happened. So all the umming and ahhing I was doing earlier about whether I should use the Mage Storm stick here or use the Blaze Herald, well, now I'm just going to do both, and it's going to be fine. Also, those blues, one of them at least is an Inquisitor item, so I'm going to have a look at that. What do we got? Purging Touch. Does have Aether damage, Chaos Resistance, Cast Speed, Health. These are all really good things. Elemental Resist is something I'm a little low on, but I think I could probably make the case for that. I could definitely make a case for this book as well. Unfortunately, this shield says no. And then the boots here, I do need more Elemental Resist, but I'm going to say no to that as well. Alright, so I don't need this, and I also don't need this anymore. So let's go ahead and chuck that on my nice shiny new weapon. This actually dropped the first time I killed him, which I was amazed by. I thought I would probably have to kill him at least 6 or 7 times before it would drop one. And I was expecting Aether Fire, not Mage Storm, so I'm quite happy with that. Alright, as far as armor goes, the numbers here are not looking great. We're using level 35 armor mostly, 35, that's 35, 35. 33. The next upgrade for the helmet and shoulders is at 52. I mean, by then we may have other stuff to play with. Let me just bring up the Grim Tools here, just so I've got it ready to go. I know the plan was for Fetten Mask, which there's no point getting the normal Fetten Mask. It doesn't have any plus skills on it, so we'll just leave that. And then Dreeg Shoulders, which is going to be 65, so I'll probably get the level 52 Ascended shoulder plates, and then, yeah, probably go for Dreeg stuff at 65. Anyway, this is probably as good as it's going to get for a little while. These leg plates of Valor are quite good. Is it Mistborn? I think it's Mistborn leggings. Let me just have a look here. It's Mistwalker leggings is the one I was talking about the other day, where it's Aether and Elemental, and it's quite hard to take off. So the empowered Mistwalker leggings have up to 39% Aether resistance, and up to 52% Elemental resistance, and 5% physical resistance, move speed, spirits, physique. It's got everything you would want, and huge resistances to boot, so it's going to be a nightmare to take it off. Every time I've found the empowered Mistwalker leggings on a character, they've basically worn them until max level. However, I haven't found them yet, so don't worry about that. And let's go ahead and jump into Malmoth, specifically the Gloomwald. Now, if you've never been through this section before, basically just poison and acid damage for days. There is other damage types, or yeah, there's other damage types, but a lot of it is poison and acid, so make sure that's capped at least. Should be relatively not difficult. From memory, mine's been pretty well capped for a while. Alright, so we've got the quest item to blow up the Aether barrier. Let's go in, and we've got a new friend here. So let's go ahead and just say hi to Dralgar. the keeper of Burrich. Not sure what he was keeping from Burrich. There's another pair of shoulders for Perdition, once again proving that Perdition is everywhere when you don't need it. And that's actually the third pair of shoulders I've found. I sold one. Here's another one. We've got 3% armor on these. It's probably not as good. It's quite a low number. I would want 5. The Inquisitor Seal as well is something I picked up kind of late-ish, I think, in the last episode. And it's really good. It does, unfortunately, mean, though, that we are going to want to be standing in it most of the time. You definitely don't need to put it down all of the time, but putting it down most of the time is probably the way to go. Anytime when you think you're going to be surrounded, or it just hit, generally speaking, a little bit of damage is not the end of the world, but especially if you're standing in the goop, Inquisitor Seal can negate a lot of goop damage. Okay, we do have a merchant just here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and talk to the roving merchant. And do I want that ring? No, I do not. One thing I could do, actually, is I could just dip my toes into Elite and get the, I think it's level 50 Slith Primal Ring, so that might be worth doing. Let me just double check what level the Slith Ring is. It is... No, go away, Veloth. It's level 70... 45. Okay, so... could probably go to Elite and just pick that up. It's a little bit weird for me. Normally, I would not be using the level 1 Slith Ring, or is it level 5? Level 20, that's because of the Soul Shard. I'm pretty sure that's level either 1 or 5. And either way, I would not normally be using that at this point in the game, because monster infrequent rings exist, and usually you'll get one of them to drop with some decent resistances on it. Unfortunately, I just haven't had that happen yet. So we're just going to have to roll with the Slith Ring, at least for a little while. Go on, wake up. Nope, he's not going to do it. Alright, one thing I am going to do, though, is definitely this totem. Is that it? I was expecting more. Seems I'm not going to get more, but I was expecting more than just one hero and, like, what, 3 trash mobs? Anyway, it is what it is. We can wear these boots. Do I want to? No. No resistances, no good. Same for a lot of this stuff. Really want the resistances. Now, I'm going through this section, as always, in the same route that I take for my farming runs once I'm level 94 or, you know, done with the campaign. So I go over here to check the totem, I go over here to get the treasure trove if it's there. I did check for it, I did look for it. It wasn't there, but I was waffling about other stuff at the time, so I didn't really mention it. But I was definitely looking for the treasure trove there. As I mentioned, I didn't actually find it. And we've gone from fighting one cult to fighting another cult. Let's go in the house here. We've got to grab Nain's stash as well. There it is. Nain's stash, got the quest item, and let's be on our way. Now, you don't have to go through this cellar. I like coming in here because you will get a treasure trove in this cellar every single time you come through here. And there's a pretty good chance, 50-50 basically, that you will get an ancient spirit totem as well, which I'm not getting this time. So if you were going to get the spirit totem, it would be pretty much here.
That skill's not ready.
Unfortunately for me, it's not here, so I get nothing. I do know where it is now, but I don't know if I'm going to go and do it. We'll see. Avarice is here, though, which is quite nice. Let's just kill off all of her friends that can heal first. And then, you look like you might be able to heal. Alright, we'll push all of the buttons, drain away all of her resistances, and then drain away all of her health. And down she goes. grab the loot, be on our way. It's not particularly fancy fight, that one. As with a lot of things, if you are not cutting corners to go faster, then most of this game on Veteran is quite easy. Definitely when you start cutting corners, though, you can certainly notice it gets a bit harder. Alright, Treasure Trove. Treasure Trove is either going to be here or it's going to be over here. Rime Frost, no. Vigorous of many is... Nah, only one resistance, not interested. Alright, I do like to grab all of the loot that's hidden in the walls, at least the first time through, so let's go ahead and beat this down and we can go for a wander up here. And we have got a Hidden Remains. Preserving Breastplate of Olzuan's Flame could be good. Why can't I hit these things? Anyway, that's a lot of vitality. That's the preserving prefix. Olzuan's Flame's the fire stuff, obviously, and the bleeding resistance. Unfortunately, I think I prefer my current one. Renegades, Heavy Gauntlets of Alacrity. I'm definitely looking for new gloves and new boots, because the Monster Infrequent or faction boots and gloves basically don't exist. You've got, at level 50, you've got the Black Legion ones, which are actually pretty decent. And at level 30 and 70, you have the Homestead and who are the other guys? Rovers. I guess you've also got the Elite Black Legion ones, which I think are at 90. I literally never use them. Usually by then I've found some blue ones that are better. Oh, speaking of which, I did find these gloves, which I'm pretty sure I picked up when I picked up the weapon here. I will probably use these, even though I definitely need to get some more elemental resist from somewhere. I guess standing in this gives me resistances. That's dangerous. I would prefer it didn't do that, actually. Anyway, it does, so I'll kind of have to deal with it, but I would definitely prefer it didn't give me temporary resistances. Alright, so the Ugdenbog Girdle comes from the crab heroes and bosses that are alive, and it has +1 to soldier skills. The Ugdenbog, another name, belt, I can't remember what it is, but it comes from the crabs that are dead, the ghost ones, and it has +1 to Inquisitor skills. So that's something that I could definitely keep an eye out for. That ring's not horrible. It's not amazing, but it's not horrible. Yeah, none of this looks particularly good. I do have a devotion point to spend, so I should probably spend that. Let's have a look where I was up to. Well, it's got to be here. Offensive ability, slow resist, more offensive ability. What's our crit chance up to? Just shy of 10%, which is a good number to have. Also didn't spend my level up points, so let's go ahead and chuck those into Inquisitor's Seal. Again, the reason we're getting this is not the regen, it's not the elemental resistance, it's not even the rebuke damage. I'm here for that damage absorption. All the rest is just a bonus to have. Alright, totem could be here. I've already killed the totem, so I'm not going to get another one, unfortunately. But that is what it is. And something to note as well about this area. Maybe I should make that pistol character. Something to note about this area is you're going to start getting these things. These rotting stumps. And you want to hit as many of these as you can, because they will drop you these flowers. Now, there's a few other places you can get the flowers. The big tree golem things will drop them sometimes. The plants will sometimes drop them. And you're going to need something like 100 of them when you get to level 100 if you want the best components. So start stocking up now while you're running through, and you won't have to farm quite so many of them. There's another one, obviously, from the treasure troves as well. This is the last place where a treasure trove could be here, so where I'm standing, could be another one just here next to the restored shrine. This is the stairs, which come out over here, and the last place for the treasure trove is going to be over here, and this is where the rift gate is. So we are now pretty much done with all of the loot locations in this area. There is kind of one more, which I don't know you can call it in this area, but let's just go ahead and shove Daddy Garrett into the Rift Gate. The one more sort of loot area, well, I guess it's two if you include the totem that I'm not going to see because I've already killed it. Alright, we got the hero as well, so these plants, when they still have leaves on them, they can come back as a hero plant. There's like 5 or 6 different ones, depending on different elements. There's a fire one, a lightning one, a poison one. That might be it. That might be it. This was for the Nain Stash lore note that I picked up earlier. And oh dear, we're starting to get the Royal Exuberance set. This is a set that I've had every single piece of multiple times, but I've never had the entire set on one character. Even the character where I was farming, like actively farming totems around this level for Perdition, I think I only had 2 pieces of this. If you can get all 3, this is a really good set. You get +1 to all your skills, 5% to all your stats, and between the 3 items themselves, you get like 20 to 30% to every resistance. So it's a pretty good ring, amulet, and metal set. I think it's ring, amulet, and metal. It's definitely ring and amulet, and I'm pretty sure it's metal. It might be 2 rings. Either way, I'm going to hang on to it, and then that way I can sell it in a few levels when I give up on getting the rest. It is a good time to start getting it dropped though, because I'm level 45. I can't wear it till 50. So for like the next 14, 15 levels, it will be available to drop. Alright, we do also have this little cellar over here. Now I'm going in because I didn't get my totem in the previous cellar, so it's going to be over here. And there's a chance I'm going to get a +1 to Inquisitor levels belt out of this. So I am, of course, going to go ahead and do it. And everybody gets to die. I'm going to actually... He's just going to kill himself. I'm going to put down a bunch of these. And I'm not getting a belt. Where's the corrupted guy? There may not have been one. Let's turn the loot off so I can see what's going on. Why are you still alive? Were you getting healed? Also do note that if you did not kill Avril Lasagna in the previous underground area, she will be standing right here ready to go. So if you need to kill her, she's here. Juggernaut is definitely the best leveling relic in the game, especially if you're a soldier. This has a really good healing proc. Unfortunately, you do need... I think it's honored with the Black Legion in order to craft it. So that kind of sucks. But the rest of that, everything about it is really good. Shroud of the Grove is also quite good. Gloves of the Winter Storm I like because damage proc and resistances, but otherwise no. That's an offhand I can't use. Overseers is a really good prefix for a helmet because it gives you armor absorption. Usually more armor absorption than you're going to get on a scaled hide. So if you get the Overseer's prefix on a helmet, then you effectively get your chest component back for free. Or, well, I mean, I guess it's not free. It is a prefix on a helmet, so it's a gear slot. But all of the best components... Actually, scratch that. A lot of the best components are on the chest piece. Alright, I don't need to be killing these, so let's just mosey on over here. Now, I did mention that the Ugden Blooms are something you probably want to be farming while you're going through the campaign, while you're leveling. And that is definitely true. So I am going to go on a little bit of a run through here. This is the first sort of third to a half of the farming run that I would do if I was specifically farming Ugden Blooms. The other half of it is going to be in the Ugden Bog and into the Ancient Grove. But you get one here, you get another one over here. I get nothing, unfortunately. Definitely kill the golems, because they can drop them as well. So if you see any of these big bad boys, go ahead and kill them. But yeah, we head south from there, and then just over here, we're going to head off the map. You can see I'm going under this little bridge, off the map. There will be an ambush here, usually. There it is. These guys will often actually drop an Ugden Bloom as well. And we've got a Coven Cache. Usually, I think this is a Hidden Spoils and a Rotting Stump. This one will not be here next time you come in, and this one will probably be a smaller chest after the first time. From there, I'm going to head directly east, and this little triangle here, we're going to hug the side of that, and here's another one. And then we'll go over here, and we'll finally see sunlight again. Or is it moonlight? What time is it in the game? Anyway, there's another one. So that's the last one I'm going to, let's call it farm. And now I need to head north, because I have a big ugly crab that I need to kill. Also, these guys are made out of XP, and there's a big pile of them all together. There is a 1 or 2 lore notes in that building as well, but I'm just going to skip it. Hello. You look like you're made out of Ugden Blooms. Please, Gibbs. Yep. Got one. All of that, and I only got one. That is unfortunate. It's fine. Alright, if we were playing any character that had Soldier as part of it, so if I was playing a Death Knight, which you absolutely can play this build as a Death Knight, it will probably not be as offensively strong. In fact, it will definitely not be as offensively strong. But it will be more defensively strong. But if you were playing any kind of Soldier build, you'd want to farm this guy because he has a really juicy belt. And he will drop it every single time, so it's just a matter of killing him until he drops you a nice belt. This one, you can see his +1 to soldier skills on a belt. That's kind of what I'm talking about when I say you want to farm him. It is a little bit unfortunate. That is a nice golem. Okay, and we're going to give these guys the suck as well. Some nice little golems there. Tempest of the Void, no, but, you know, we can have a look. And there was a ring there as well. I want to have a look at that ring. Assuming I can find it. It's this one. Shrewd of Blight. Okay. That's a no from me. That's Wormclaw. That's not the blue. There it is. Tempest of the Void. Nice hat. But no good for me. Alright. I keep thinking that Wraithbound is a prefix that I want, but that's a pet thing. See the word Wraith, and my eyes kind of glaze over. Alright, let's get out of here. So I've got what I need. Let's head on over to the Coven. There will be a... Yep, there they are. I was going to say there will be a trap here, but I mean, realistically, it's not a very good trap. That's what I actually wanted. I wanted the Ugden Blooms. Aha, 2 of them. Those pants might be good. What do we got here? Vigorous or Soul Warding? Soul Warding's not bad, and Vigorous is a bunch of health. No. What I'm looking for in terms of resistances is mostly elemental, actually, at the moment. I wouldn't mind going and getting a Lich's Crunley Signet, or a Lich's Gollus Signet, or... oh, hello. Akla. Or Vine Rings, or Living Rings, or anything like that. All of those would be quite good. Any Monster Infrequent ring that has resistances baked into it, so Crunley's has Piercing. Gollus I don't think has any, and then for the Vine Rings we're looking at... I think Vitality on that? Don't quote me on that one. Corrosive does sound like it might have Vitality resistance on it. But anyway, we can definitely look to find some living rings, vine rings, and I think there's a third one as well. Let's go ahead and vendor all of this rubbish. Most of this stuff I'm just not interested in. In fact, all of this I'm not interested in. I kind of know where the items I want drop, which is nice because it means I can just go get them. But it also kind of sucks because you already know what you're going to do before you do it. Alright, I require your aid. Here's the crab's heart, and yes, we have a deal. Let's go ahead and bank all these extra little components. Put that one there, chuck that one down there. And as long as we're here, we may as well go back to Devil's Crossing, and we can talk to Amala, because she has another XP for me. I don't want to ask you any questions. Thank you, though. It's very nice of you. Alright, so I now have an attribute reset potion, so if I wanted to, I could take all these points out just by right-clicking on this potion. And same for my devotion points. So if I wanted to reset all of this, it would take, what, 27 devotion points, which means 27 Aether Crystals to rip all this out. Or I could just drink this potion. So that's kind of the good part of those potions. They're pretty good quest rewards. And you will get at least one per difficulty. I think there's another one of each in Forgotten Gods as well. Right, we have some free XP to come and collect here. So there is a few chests around town. Trista's diary, which I'm just going to eat it. I promise I didn't read a word. We've also got Raelia. This is the witch we rescued back in the Blood Grove. And she's going to give us Coven reputation and some XP. Which is not amazing, but it's, you know, it's free XP. Some more loot here. What do we got? That's a lot of armor. It's a lot of physique requirement as well. Same with those pants. May have to put a few levels into physique just to start wearing some of that heavier stuff. You know what? I don't need your quest. I know where the witches are. So I'm just going to go do that one. Right, into the Ugden Bog, and we're about to see why I said you really want a lot of poison resistance. Because these plants are everywhere. Alright, I do want to go and find the foot. Here it is. Here's the rotting stump that I'm after, and the reason why I call it the foot is, if you look at the map here, big toe, little toe, heel. It's literally a footprint on the map. So if you can find that, then you are good to go. Now we're going to come up here, and this is Janaxia's den. Her friends are not on the porch this time. We're going to go in, and we're going to kill all of her friends, and then we're going to kill her. Not the most polite visitors, I will allow, but, well, she's made out of XP and loot, so it would be rude not to. We also have some loot hidden in the walls here, and I'm sure it's here this time. Let's go ahead and spin this. Yeah, there it is. I probably didn't even need to spin that. Dominators, pet stuff. This is an amulet, so no. Alright, and we've got Janaxia herself in here. Janaxia's got a lot of elemental damage. And we can just beam her down. Go ahead and throw one of those at her as well. There we go. Storm Strife. Not a bad one to get. Not a good one to get. It's just kind of... Oh dear. Oh no. Nope, that's fine. That's fine. More health, less phys res. Yeah, side grade. And I'm not going to. We'll just leave that one. I'm about to level again, which is very nice. I don't have the quest to kill her just yet, but you can kill her before you turn the quest in. Or before you get the quest. And that'll be fine. And level up. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's all going into Inquisitor Seal. So we're up to 174 damage absorption all the time whenever we get hit. So any single source of damage Let's just see if he can hurt me. I'm not seeing my health number move, and I'm not using potions. Word of Renewal's about to wear off, and he's just dead. So, pretty happy with that. We've got a corrupted tree golem thing, or it's not a tree golem, it's an undead golem. So I do want to get out of the goop there. And what do we got there? Oathbreaker, again. Warmonger's Belt Blueprint. Let's go ahead and eat that. What do we got? Shield, Axe, Claymore, Shield. Okay, Impenetrable of Destruction. That's actually some pretty good resistances. Unfortunately, it's really bad armor. And then we've got pretty much the same. A little bit more armor. Rubbish resistances. It's unfortunate. Okay, we've got a nice little crowd here. Let's just see if I can't gather them all up and beam them down. There we go. Where do you think you're going? Alright, everybody is nicely made out of XP. Hoping for some Ugden Blooms here. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. And we'll just keep heading north. There's a few more things to do throughout this section. There's a lot of ghost crabs about to be in my immediate future, I think. Yep, there they are, and there they go. On the lookout for rotting stumps through here as well. It's actually been a while since I've tried to farm them, so I've kind of forgotten where they are. Also, usually I run the other way. So I'm running north to south normally, so it's hard. I'm a little, what is the word? Dyslexic of the map. I'm sure there is a word for it, but I'm not sure what the word is. We can get one, where is it? There it is. I knew there was one slightly down from the top of this area. Alright, I do want to get the Venom Gaze Bile, which again I was blanking on the name, so I'm glad it dropped. And this is the first time I've seen this. There's some of the rotting stumps are traps, and they will get out of the ground and try to eat your face. So we do have to be careful of those as well. Alright, and we keep heading north. Definitely hitting that rotting stump. I don't think I've had one Ugden Bloom. This is outrageous. I need more. Alright, I can see the Rift Gate here, so let's go ahead and grab that. And next stop is one of my least favorite areas in the game, and I'll show you why when we get there. We are, of course, about to be getting the Acid Rain. It's usually a lot more through here, so they've got a few more basilisks this time. Got a Chaos Crab. Dies nicely. Yeah, there's usually a lot more plants in this section than I've just seen. So I'm very surprised. I mean, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. There's no point going into Laria's den, because you actually need the quest for her. And here is the least favorite, or equal least favorite, or at least in my top least favorite areas in the game. Welcome to the Undergrowth. And the reason I hate this area, and the reason you're going to hear me whinging about it every single time I come in here, is these guys right here. Because let's say I want to walk over here. Well, he's actually managed to be smart enough to go around it this time. Normally, he would just stand here in the corner trying to run through it forever. I'll see if I can get it to do it again at the next one. I can see one just there. Double Ugden Blooms. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, here we go. So I'm not touching my keyboard, although I might have to here in a second to heal myself, but he's just going to run forever. And if you're someone who plays like I do, where you hold the mouse down to move, then he will just keep doing it forever until you move your mouse. and it's really annoying. Ooh, prismatic. That's a lot of armor. That's a lot of physique. Okay, never mind. That's fine. I didn't want to use those pants anyway. One good thing about this place, though, and probably the only good thing, is you do get a guaranteed treasure trove. Exalted stash, which means guaranteed blue or purple item every single time you come through here, which is nice, or at least the first time you come through here every single time. And this guy just doesn't want to die. What's going on there? It's like I have a 1,000,000% negative cast rate. Probably do. Hang on, what do we got here? 60% chance to miss. It's probably that. Yeah, this one died way quicker. Okay, there was definitely a debuff on me there. The Glory of the Silver Knight. We can use our helmet to abolish evil. That is actually a lot of percentage damage increase. 350% main hand damage. I don't think I've ever used that. I probably never will. So more tree golems. Please give me more Ugden blooms. Come on, you know you want to. Well, turns out he didn't. Alright, so more trash outside the door here. Here's the door. Now, last time I came through here, it wouldn't let me in here. Or I was looking in the wrong spot. So I'm just going to make sure I get it this time. Because I know it's there. You can't lie and tell me it's not there. I've been in there many times. Okay. So, actually, what was that ring? This one? Menacing of Alacrity. Yeah, nothing too sexy on that one. That's fine. Alright, so we're fighting basically a giant tree here. There's Sylvaria, Queen of the Undergrowth. And I'm just pretty much going to stand in front of it and kill it. I'm pretty sure she does Sunder, but I'm also pretty sure she doesn't get to do it very often. Because, yeah, there we go, she's dead. Okay, Harmonious is really good. This is the exact same resistances as the Slith Primal Ring, except this one has health and energy percentage and energy regeneration, which is more than that, so yes, I'm going to be wearing that ring. Also, since I hate this place so much, I'm not going to walk out of here. I'm going back to DC, and then I'm going to come back to the rift outside, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Alright, so Harmonious, Vine Ring of Alacrity, straight up better than that. Let's go ahead and swap it over. And I'm going to melt that. If I want another one, I can go get the Elite version, and then level 70, I can get the Ultimate version. It did take me a second to make that decision, though, because that is a quest reward, and you only get one of that ring. Alright, bank components, bank rare crafting materials, eat the blueprint, and I think we're looking good. Yeah, I think we're looking good. Not too far to go to get these. The Slith Venom here is... I wouldn't say I usually use it, but I often use it. Gazer I also have been known to use. Rifthound, unfortunately that's all pet stuff, but I would love a ring and amulet augment that I could use that gave me those stats and not the pets. Looks like we need Honored. Yeah. Coming up on Honored with DC, but I'm not going to be killing anything that they care about for a little while, so probably we'll get Honored with the Coven first. Okay. To the Ugdenboog. And I'm just going to run again. It's not that far a run, and it means I don't have to run out of the undergrowth, which, one, it's pretty much been depopulated on the way in, but two, I just hate that place. So I will just run a little bit further. I think it's a little bit further. I actually haven't checked. Where are all my plants? There's usually like 12 of these things here. I do see that that totem, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm very surprised at the lack of plants in this area. Bloodthirsty Bloom, down you go. There's, oh, Perdition Gloves. Okay, and we've got Golems, that's definitely not good. Alright, gloves and shoulders. Can I wear Perdition gloves and shoulders? Then the next question is, do I want to? I can definitely swap these over. I would lose 0 resistances. I would definitely lose casting speed, which I don't love. Probably lose health as well. Yeah, a little bit of health. Okay, so yes, I can swap the gloves. The shoulders... I mean, yes, but... Well, let's just see. The reason I want to do this is all about that 2-piece bonus, is 10% increased armor. You can also get 5%, which, I mean, I guess 3 to 5, or maybe even 2 to 5% increased armor on each piece. So potentially 2 pieces of this set gets you a 20% boost to your armor rating, which is quite good. And I think I'm going to do it. That is a lot of armor, and there's not a whole lot of chaos damage that I need to resist in the immediate future. It's a lot of Scorch Rune stuff as well. So yeah, I think I am going to make that swap. Bleeding is not something super common, but this area does have a decent amount of it, so I want my add-on. And, you know, in a couple of levels, I'm going to go ahead and get another pair of the Ascended Shoulders. That's lightning stuff, I don't care. That's fire stuff, I don't care. I kind of feel like I might have to lose the Arcane Blaze on the belt. I definitely need more resistances. For now, though, we'll just roll with it and see what happens. Alright, we can kill a few of these. Now, if you haven't found your undergrowth, there is a few different places where it could be. Easiest way to find it is to check here, because that's the first place it can be, and then just kind of hug the side here. Alright, I tried to do this the peaceful way. You've chosen death, so good night, sweet prince. Yeah, so the other place to find the undergrowth, I'm pretty sure it's kind of here-ish. Might be, you know, in this area. But if you just run up this side here, you will find it eventually. And if you don't find it, then there's one other place to check, which I will show you after we go and... do I have... We may have to not release Old Mate just yet. Alright, we are not ever using this +1 to Inquisitor belt because it has conversion. Aether to Elemental conversion is absolutely out of the question. Alright, there's a Devotion Shrine in here, which I want to get my hands on. So let's jump in here. And is this one going to be the proc for Wayward Soul? I can't remember. Let's find out. It is, yes. Okay. This is something you want on something that's active all the time, if possible. Word of Renewal should be active all of the time. Should. I'm going to put it on Aether Weapons for now, and then that way, when I change my weapons later, I can forget about it and then not get the proc. You see it's already triggered here. 20% chance when hit. And what does it actually do? Huge pile of armor. Some defensive ability, which I don't care about, and also the heal. So the recharge goes down as you get levels for it. And basically it means at max level, I think the buff lasts for 5 seconds and you can get it every 8 or something like that. It's up fairly regularly. Do I have... I don't think I have the item he wants. The Wendigo Spirit. It is available as a quest reward later. Let me just check, though. Coffin's pretty close to the bank. I do not have one. Cool. That's right. I'm just going to leave him for now then. Do I leave him or do I kill him? I could kill him. No, we'll just leave him. I wouldn't mind the Coven reputation. I know I keep saying that Coven is really super easy to get, and it is, but I would rather get it than lose it, if that makes sense. Alright, there's one more thing to point out along the way here. Well, I guess two. There's also this little place here. This can have a trapped chest, just here. And this chest, basically, when you walk up here and click on it, a whole bunch of stuff will pop up out of the ground behind you. And then you've got some free XP. And the only other thing to note around here, this little cube used to scare me because Chupacabra had one of his spawn points here, and I was terrified of him at the time. He doesn't work like that anymore. You have to have Nemesis, which you always had to have Nemesis, but he can spawn anywhere now. Anywhere that you can kill beasts, he can spawn. Alright, and this... is it that one? Yeah, this one is going to be the final location for your undergrowth. So if you haven't found one by this stage, you're going to have to go back. And if you're having trouble finding it, if you go to grimtools.com/map, you will be able to find it on the map there. It will mark all of the locations where it can potentially spawn. Alright, so welcome to Barrowholm. This is where I, generally speaking, cut the episode, and I think I'm going to do the same thing here. So a little bit of a shorter one, but this is a good place to stop. And I don't really have time to start anything new, otherwise this will be an hour-and-a-half episode. So, that being said, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.